Welcome, Bronco fans, to the final edition of the Western Michigan Football Spring Practice Report. Before we get talking about the Broncos, I know Coach Fleck wanted to say something briefly.
Yeah, our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go out to all the victims out there in Boston. And just so all you know, Western Michigan's behind you. We're rowing the boat right behind you, and we're thinking about you. So God bless you.
Coach, you talk about throughout the spring you wanted everybody on the team to learn something and to make changes or change. First, let's talk about the quarterbacks and how they've gone through both those processes.
Well, I think first, as a football program, we've changed mentally. We've become mentally tougher. I think that, as a program, we don't believe in physical toughness. We believe in mental toughness. And I think if you look at our football team, we're becoming more mentally tough on a daily basis. So I think our whole football team's learned how to be able to do that. You look at the quarterback position, I think the main thing we wanted them to learn was learn the system. Learn how to be a leader. Control your huddle. Control the line of scrimmage. Control the plays. Understand the plays. Know your reads. And I know it seems like a lot, but it's just a process of leading and learning for them. And I thought they did a tremendous job during the spring that's going to catapult them into the summer when they do it by themselves, and then once they get to the fall when we're actually trying to master it.
Now on to the offensive line.
Well, the offensive line, I tell you, we've been trying to move some pieces of the puzzle around to find the best five that fit with each other. The one thing about the offensive line is it necessarily doesn't mean who the top five are. It's the top five that work together, and they have the camaraderie within that group. And I think we've done a tremendous job of that. Brian Callahan's done an unbelievable job of that. Bill Kenny's done an awesome job getting everybody to buy into the system and then trying to find the right pieces of the puzzle as we go forward.
The skills positions, the receivers and tight ends together.
Well, I think the catching aspect from that has gotten way better. We dropped a ton of balls at the beginning of the spring. And I think that Coach Getze and Coach Chirac have done a tremendous job of enforcing that, getting guys to do things on their own and make it be important to them to continue to see success and continue to see growth within their own selves. But I think if you look at our tight ends as a whole, I think they're blocking way better. They're sticking their face on people. They're tougher. I love to see that from a tight end. And to be a tight end in our system, we're not just a spread offense. So you've got to be able to block a six technique, hold your own, plus still be a vertical threat in the pass game. And I think all of our tight ends, Boyden, Clark, they've done a tremendous job of that.
And finally on offense, running backs.
The running back position is very interesting right now because we'd hope that a lot of people started to separate themselves. It's not the case yet. They're all getting better, but they're all getting better at almost the same pace. And I thought where we'd be at the end of the spring would be one guy says it's my job, everybody else follow. I think we have an idea who that guy is, but I think we're not there yet. And so I think, it's still an open competition with our tailback position.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a second and talk about the defensive side of the ball and special teams. All right, Bronco fans, we're back. Now we're going to talk on the defensive side of the ball. First, the guys up front, defensive line.
Well, I thought Vince Reynolds, our defensive line coach, has really captured that group. Vince and I were teammates at Northern Illinois. And I still remember Vince playing. He played with such a motor and a passion, and he coaches the same way. So I think when you look at our defensive line, I think that was one of the biggest worries we had going into the spring. And we're not where we need to be by any means, but I think you start to see the identity of that changing. A guy like Jabari Bothwell, who came in here and you necessarily watch him condition in winter condition, and it just wasn't going his way. But to watch him grow, he took reps with the starting ones today a few times, and to watch him grow and watch Coach Vince change these young men is really inspiring. And I think we have a very, very talented group, a disciplined group. We might not be the biggest group or the guys that have 6'4" all the way across the board, but I know this: Coach Vince has got those guys to play with a motor, play with their heart, and play it all the time.
Now, obviously, maybe a positional unit that is going to be very, very key for us in 2013, the linebacker unit.
You have a starter?
I can start.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought maybe you have been watching. If you have any opinions of who's going to start at that position, that's one that we've kind of got caught with the injury bug a little bit. But I tell you what, Kyle Lark stepped right in. You got Johnny Simon, who we did move from the safety to the Sam linebacker position. He's done a tremendous job for us. And I think as we continue to go, other people are going to continue to slide in, step up, and step in. We got some young freshmen coming in for the fall. But I think we took a major step in the right direction in that position. Even though we lost two, I think we've taken a major step in the right direction. And I think the guys behind it have really rallied and said, this is my opportunity to play. And I don't think we've missed much of a beat. Of course, you're always going to be better possibly with your ones than the next group. But you know what? I have a firm belief that Tim McGargle, the way he used to play and the way he coaches, he'll get those twos playing just like they did with the ones. And I don't think we'll miss a beat there because the guys behind him are just as hungry.
And finally, for the defense, the back end, safeties and corners.
It's one of our most experienced groups out of everybody. And I think when you look at who's been standing out, and you look at Garrett Smith, you look at Ronald Zamor, you look at Donald Saliskar, you look at Petway, and then you look at the veteran back there, Justin Curry. That group is very solid. And I love what we can do defensively because we feel like we have a very talented secondary. So I like what we're going to be able to do and mix up defensively. And be able to create some mismatches and some different things up front because we do have a very talented elite back end, in my opinion. And Coach Pinkham's one of the best in the business. I wouldn't want to have anybody else in this program but Coach Pinkham. I love him dearly. He's done a tremendous job with his defense, and he's got those guys to, again, change, continue to learn, and develop at an elite pace. And he's got them rowing the boat, that's for sure.
Excellent. And finally, the special teams, not only the kicking and punting game, but the coverage and return units.
Well, I think we've introduced everything with our return game, our punt game, our special teams unit. We've introduced it all. We necessarily haven't dissected all of it, put all of it in, but we've hit every single aspect of the special teams. It's so important, and that's why when I was hiring, I hired JB Gibney, because I wanted to make sure I had a true bridge between offense and defense. And the special teams is what holds the offense and defense together. And I knew if that bridge was pretty weak, we would never be as elite as we needed to be. And I know JB's done a tremendous job. And just to watch him grow as a coach throughout the spring has been fun. And to watch those guys believe special teams is important. And we've done a great job emphasizing it, and our coach has done a tremendous job teaching it. And I think as we continue to go, you're going to see elite things from our special teams. And you can always get a characteristic of a football team just by watching their special teams. And I hope people, when they put special teams on for us, I believe when they watch it, they're going to sit there. That's the type of football team they are, without even watching any type of offense or defense. That's hard work.
Excellent, Coach. Obviously, this Saturday, spring game. What are you going to be looking for during the 2 hours of that final scrimmage? I
look at it as a reward for the players. I really do. It's their first opportunity to have a game. We've had a lot of game scenarios. We've had a lot of scrimmages here and there. We've had a lot of play-it periods. But I think it's the first time for them to be able to say, hey, this is a game. This is our first dress rehearsal for Michigan State. I'm just looking for them to have fun, play hard, play urgently. I think that's the one thing that I really want to see. They know our system. They know what we do. We'll keep it pretty simple as an offense and defense and special team staff. But I want them to play urgent, play fast, play aggressive. Just play the game and do it in the techniques that we've taught you. And to see where we've grown from where we were last year at the end of the season, and just to watch them grow, that's going to be the key factor for me. And the number one thing in this program is the ball. The ball is the program. We take care of the ball, we'll win a lot of games. We don't take care of the football, we'll lose a lot of games. It's very simple. The ball is the program.
All right, thank you, Coach. And Bronco fans, also, not only it's a reward for our players for the spring game, but obviously we want you to see it as a reward as well. This Saturday, April 20th, 1 p.m. right here at Waldo Stadium. Come out, support the Western Michigan football program, row the boat with us, and we'll see you there. Admission is a toy. We're going to be doing a toy drive at the end of the spring game, where all the toys that are going to be donated and the games and everything like that will be going to Bronson Children's Hospital. A great program and a great concept brought on by Coach Fleck and his coaching staff. I want to thank you, Coach, for going through this throughout the spring, especially today with the throat. And I want to thank all the Western Michigan student athletes who have been a part of it as well. For Coach Fleck and all of our Western Michigan football program, I'm Matt Kane.
We love you, Boston.
Row the boat.